So today we got a video on a philosopher, Plato. Not too sure about him. I don't know too much about him. Never really heard of him. I sound like Pluto, so let's not waste any time. Just get straight to it.
Athens, 2,400 years ago. It's a compact place. Only about 250,000 people live here. There are fine baths, theatres, temples, shopping arcades and gymnasiums. It's warm for more than half the year. This is also home to the world's first true and probably greatest philosopher, Plato. Born into a prominent and wealthy family in the city, Plato devoted his life to one goal, helping people to reach a state of what he termed eudaimonia, or fulfillment. Plato is often confused with Socrates. Socrates was an older friend who taught Plato a lot but didn't write any books. Plato wrote lots of them, 36, all dialogues, beautifully crafted scripts of imaginary discussions in which Socrates is always allotted a starring role, among them the Republic, the Symposium, the Laws, the Meno, and the Apology. Plato had 4 big ideas for making life more fulfilled.
I wonder what he's apologizing for.
First big idea, think more. We rarely give ourselves time to think carefully and logically about our lives and how to lead them. Sometimes we just go along with what the Greeks called doxa, or popular opinions. In the 36 books he wrote, Plato showed this common sense to be riddled with errors, prejudice and superstition. Fame is great, follow your heart, money is the key to a good life. The problem is, popular opinions edge us towards the wrong values, careers and relationships. Plato's answer is, know yourself. It means doing a special kind of therapy, philosophy, subjecting your ideas to examination rather than acting on impulse. If you strengthen your self-knowledge, you don't get so pulled around by feelings. Plato compared the role of our feelings to being dragged dangerously along by a group of wild horses. In honor of his mentor and friend Socrates, this kind of examination is called a Socratic discussion. You can have it with yourself or, ideally, with another person who isn't trying to catch you out, but wants to help you clarify your own ideas. Second big idea, let your lover change you. That sounds weird if you think that love means finding someone who wants you just the way you are. In a Symposium, Plato's play about a dinner party where a group of friends drink too much and get talking about love, sex and relationships, Plato says, true love is admiration. In other words, the person you need to get together with should have very good qualities, which you yourself lack. Let's say they should be really brave or organized or warm and sincere. By getting close to this person, you can become a little like they are. The right person for us helps us grow to our full potential. For Plato, in a good relationship, a couple shouldn't love each other exactly as they are right now. They should be committed to educating each other and to enduring the stormy passages this inevitably involves. Each person should want to seduce the other into becoming a better version of themselves.
Wow, that's some bars right there, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Let your lover change you. You find somebody who's not toxic. You find somebody who's actually beneficial for you as a lover, give you good advice, and put the missing puzzle pieces to your personality as is to basically upgrade you, or how you would say it, not just upgrade, but just help you progress as a better version of yourself. Whew. Plato's spitting. Plato was spitting. This is why you're not supposed to be with thimps or gold diggers or people who just siphon your good energy and just toxic relationships in general. You gotta be in loving relationships with somebody who actually compliments you and benefits in making you a better person, men and women. Plato
3.
spitting.
Decode the message of beauty. Everyone pretty much likes beautiful things, but Plato was the first to ask, why do we like them? He found a fascinating reason. Beautiful objects are whispering important truths to us about the good life. We find things beautiful when we unconsciously sense in them qualities we need but are missing in our lives. Gentleness,
Huh.
harmony, balance, peace, strength. Beautiful objects, therefore, have a really important function. They help to educate our souls.
Huh.
Ugliness is a serious matter too. It parades dangerous and damaged characteristics in front of us. It makes it harder to be wise, kind, and calm. Plato sees art as therapeutic. It's the duty of poets and painters, and nowadays novelists, TV producers, and designers to help us to live good lives. 4. Reform society.
Wow, that was a bar too. So he's saying that we love beauty because beauty shows the positive aspects of life, whether it's strength, harmony, and love. The ugliness does the exact opposite. It shows the bad side and the negatives in life, whether it's toxicity, um, danger, and harmfulness, sloth. He's spitting.
Plato spent a lot of time thinking how the government and society should ideally be. He was the world's first utopian thinker. In this, he was inspired by Athens' great rival, Sparta. This was a city-sized machine for turning out great soldiers. Everything the Spartans did, how they raised their children, how their economy was organized, whom they admired, how they had sex, what they ate, was tailored to that one goal. And Sparta was hugely successful from a military point of view. But that wasn't Plato's concern. He wanted to know, how could a society get better at producing not military power, but fulfilled people? In his book, The Republic, Plato identifies a number of changes that should be made. Athenian society was very focused on the rich, like the louche aristocrat Alcibiades, and sports celebrities like the boxer Milo of Croton. Plato wasn't impressed. It really matters who we admire, because celebrities influence our outlook, ideas, and conduct, and bad heroes give glamour to flaws of character. Plato therefore wanted to give Athens new celebrities.
Spitting again. This is why I don't like looking up the celebrities. This is also why for us, I'm going to speak for myself and the black culture. You got to stop celebrating and glorifying degenerate music and degenerate culture in general. It's all it's doing is bringing us down further and further to a lower senses of a community, really. A lower sense of self. So a lot of other communities aren't doing that, But I'll never forget, man, during the presidential, or the not debate, the presidential events that they was having, the little community events for the reds and the blue sides, they went and had Meg the Stallion and Quavo up on stage for the Democrats, and then the Republicans went and had, was it Sexy Red up there on stage? Like, out of all the black people, you could have put some more qualified, more legitimately intelligent, intellectual, like, celebrities, but you chose those three degenerate rappers. I don't know personally, and I'm not going to say that they're bad people, but they're horrible people to use as examples for how the leadership and the qualities of how the black culture and community is supposed to be. So shout out to you, Plato.
Replacing the current crop with ideally wise and good people he called guardians, models for everyone's good development. These people would be distinguished by their record of public service, their modesty and simple habits, their dislike of the limelight, and their wide and deep experience. They would be the most honoured and admired people in society. He also wanted to end democracy in Athens. He wasn't crazy. He just observed how few people think properly before they vote, and therefore we get very substandard rulers. He didn't want to replace democracy with a horrid dictatorship, but he wanted to prevent people from voting until they'd started to think rationally. That is,
Mm,
until they'd become philosophers. Otherwise, government would just be a kind of mob rule. To help the process, Plato
hmm
started a school, the Academy, in Athens, which lasted a good 300 years. There, pupils learnt not just maths and spelling, but also how to be good and kind. His ultimate goal was that politicians should become philosophers. The world will not be right, he said, until kings become philosophers or philosophers kings.
I need to read one of his books. Plato sounds like he's a genius. And I agree too, man. People need to be well educated. People need to know what they're getting themselves into when it comes to the republic or democracy and all that too. I'm not gonna act like I'm a complete genius and know everything about democracy and all the political, you know, the political genre in general. I don't. I don't know all the political schemes and all that. I don't. But I am doing my best. At least I'm trying my best to try to figure out how all this works. Because one thing I know I gotta do is I gotta have that wisdom and intellect to know that I'm voting for the right people, the right laws, right, electives, legislatives, all that correctly for myself using my own personal brain. You know, I'm not just being led by random folks. So that's it for this one. Shout out to Plato. Shout out to what's the name of the channel? School of Life. Shout out to School of Life. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna stay on this philosophy tip. We're gonna stick on this philosophy tip for a cool while. So it's your boy who signed the Yachty. Yes, sir. Remember to like, subscribe, share the video. Yeah,